It is Addie Bear's birthday. Hey, Addie Bear, look. Happy birthday. It's Addie Bear's birthday, December 29th. I don't think she realizes at this young age how crappy the 29th of December birthday is going to be. But she got her cake. She got a few little gifts. I had to get her up early today, though. Today is training day at the barn. Saturday is New Year's Day, so we likely won't be training on Saturday. Amy brought it to my attention that it was New Year's Day yesterday. So today we'll be training some horses. Now it's 0 degrees, a little freezing rain last night, so I don't know what the track's going to be like. I guess that's important. I had to come in early because I wanted to train. I told Jason I'd go with LD's Patrick this morning. He's in, if you guys have noticed, him and So-and-Sue are in together on Thursday night. Now I'll give everybody a heads up. So-and-Sue has not trained since her last race. She had a curb left hind that we had cryoed. Curbs are a little tricky, right? You can't just cryo them and go back to work. You really have to give them a little time. So for the last 10 days, she has not trained. She jogged every day, but she did not train. So she might be a little short on Thursday, but she's such a hyper filly, she may not be short either. She may be just fine. As I said, baby's going today. 3 or 4 scratches, couple little temperatures, snotty noses, and then Tactical Mounds tripped and fell on Monday and scraped her knees up pretty good. I had to take her up and get her looked at the clinic, and they had to make sure it was all. You don't want to screw around when it comes to the front of the knees, especially if they scraped them up pretty good. It's easy to get, as you can imagine, right? When I was a kid, I fell off my bike and ripped my chin. You clean all those rocks and stuff out of there. You don't want any residual infection, right? You don't want to have that infected and then, a piece of rock come out. Anyway, it's the same with horses. You have to clean that area up very, very delicately. So we've had this happen, as you can imagine. I've had this happen as a trainer and as a driver many, many times. And as I said in a video the other day, Monday, to the people that own Tactical Mounds, if all my trips to the University of Guelph were as unimportant as scraped up knees, I'd be very, very, very happy. Usually when you're heading to university, it's colic, broken bone, something serious. But this could have been serious, but it was important that we went and got it cleaned up. So she'll heal up. She's going to need a couple of weeks just to let that knit back together. Not a big deal at all. A very, very nice filly. So there was never any inclination to, I had the vet look at her at the burn, but she immediately went to the clinic to get looked at. There was never any doubt that's where she was headed. So with that out of the way, as I said, Addie Bear's birthday. Horses racing Thursday. I am going to Northfield Park on Sunday. I'm going to bring some horses home. As I said to you guys the other day, I believe Stonebridge Simba may come home. Depending on how cold it is Sunday night, I might leave Monday morning. Not really fair to Simba to race him in the first race. Cool him out, put him on a trailer and head back to Ontario, especially since there's not a whole lot going on Mondays. So I may just leave on Monday morning with Stonebridge Simba. I believe maybe one of the Ohio fillies, Isa 10, might come back. I know a certain someone that's been lobbying pretty hard for Isa 10 to come back to Ontario. As I had said before, can't just bring a horse like Sweet on Pete back that's got 4 or 5 wins and a pile of money made. There's just nowhere to race those horses, so you're really just getting them ready to bring them back to Ohio. Whereas a horse like Isa 10, no wins, couple of starts, lots of places to start her early. And she's ready to start training a little bit now, so I don't mind bringing her back. And Stonebridge Dolce. Now, the reason we have to do this is because they're a little overwhelmed in Ohio. Lauren said 22 to 25 horses. There's 28 there right now, so the math was pretty simple. We will bring back 3 horses to Ontario, and then see how things go there. Also, Sunday night, they've already drawn. I have the rail with Tour de Lindy. Looks like Aaron Merriman's going to be driving Stonebridge Simba. They got in together. And then we got Yes, who's got a couple of heavyweights are missing from the Open. We get the 4-hole again. I can assure you he will be going forward out of the gate. As I said the other day, I think without knowing Yes, I don't think Ronnie Wren had ever driven Yes before. So without knowing Yes, I think he maybe just got ahead of him a little bit, put a couple of steps in behind the gate, Ronnie drove him a little conservatively coming out, which you have to do if you don't know the horse. Last thing you want to do is put him on the run. But Yes won't be getting ahead of me. I know his tricks. So Yes will be going out of there, you can be sure, on Sunday evening. So that'll be Sunday evening. In between, lots of racing, lots going on. We got New Year's Eve, New Year's Day coming up. But first and foremost, little Addie Bear's birthday. 3 years. Everybody says, oh, time flies. It really does. It just seems like yesterday I was heading to the hospital. To check on Amy and the baby. For those of you who don't maybe follow what took place with Addie was premature. She was born 2 months early, and for the last month of her pregnancy, Amy was in the hospital. You can imagine, we all get upset and angry with the thought of quarantining. We were all going away on a trip the end of January. One of my friends called me last night to tell me they canceled the trip because they couldn't take it if they had to quarantine. Well, quarantining's 10 days now? It's about to be dropped to 5, I believe. If you're vaccinated and asymptomatic. Anyway, that's another story. Amy was in the hospital for 30 days, cooped up with an IV. You can only imagine how frustrating that would be. I would lose my mind. So an extra special time in our life that we'll never forget is sitting right there. Right, Addie Bear?
Yeah, right.
Obviously, a lot of great feedback. One from the open house. So we may have to take a look at what we're doing for the open house next year. Now, it'd be unfair to have the open house. We expect it will be full of people next year. So to have it on Christmas Eve may not be possible. But a lot of great feedback from this year's open house. So that was great. Thank you very much for the notes and the calls and the emails. And then obviously we have that. We had that form that went out last week, looking to see who was interested in participating in the partnership for the Meadowland sale that is coming up, the Tattersall sale. Now, I couldn't give you any numbers. I looked through the horses last night. There are, on my preliminary scan, so looked at the videos, looked at a couple of videos of the horses, what they've been doing, where they've been coming from. Here's the important thing. I don't want any 2-year-olds turning 3. We have enough of those. What I am interested in is 3-year-olds with smaller amounts of starts. We don't want to have to rest the horses unless they're very good horses. I don't mind, like when we bought Locatelli, if we had to stop with them a little bit, we were prepared to do that. But I'd rather not buy a horse that we have to rest as soon as we get it. This is a horse that's supposed to fit into our batting order, so to speak, right away. And that's what we're looking for. So now there's a 2, 3, or 4 horse, pacer or trotter. I'd rather have a lower amount of money, between $30,000 and $60,000 on their card, unless you're talking about a horse that again can jump into that Locatelli type situation. But again, I didn't see any of those horses in the sale in my first scans of it. Mostly pacers. Now, what is interesting, there are 2 very, very high-powered pacers in there. One that just won in 52 at Yonkers. Now, that horse is going to bring a ton of money. We're talking, I would say, 250, 300. Maybe a little bit outside of our comfort zone, but there is a horse in the sale that does fit that bill. It's funny, there's 2 brothers. Captain Barboza is the horse. He went in 52 last week at Yonkers. And then his brother. Now, the thing is, Captain Barboza's been racing. Is he getting a little tired? That's a possibility. The other horse, Which Way to the Beach, is his brother. I didn't realize that until somebody brought it to my attention last night. They're both in the sale. 2 different trainers, 2 different owners, exact same family, half brothers. Which Way to the Beach obviously was a very good horse all year as a 3-year-old. Both horses have a ton of money on their card. These are horses that would have to, you would hope, as 4-year-olds, or as in his case, Captain Barboza's already headed in that direction. But Which Way to the Beach, you would hope, would be an open type pacer. So I don't know if there's people out there that interest. That's a lot of money to shell out for a horse. We do have people that were interested in buying that type of horse before, but I don't really want to push. When it comes to that kind of money, that's gonna have to be something that makes sense to you, to our clients out there. I don't want to try and convince people to buy into a horse that expensive. That's a lot of money to shell out for an animal. So 8 to 10, I think I have 11 maybe 10 or 11 horses on my list. I think the Which Way to the Beach horse is on my list also. I thought that of the 2 horses, he might be a little lesser because he is on the shelf right now. They had obviously rested him. I assume it's a rest. I'll have to do some investigation there. He was stopped after the Progress Stakes in November. So, again, I guess he comes to us rested already. So, is he sound and just tired and rested, or is he rested because there's an injury? Obviously, I'd have to find that out. Aside from that horse, there are 9 others on my list that I find interesting. You will find them all in the rules of the sale, so to speak. Now, there's a 2, 3, 4 meaty part of the order. Show some speed. I'd rather not buy a horse that's going to need a rest right off the bat. So that's where we're at for the Meadowlands sale. You guys are up to date now on 1, Tactical Mounds. Everything is going well. I'm going to pick her up today from the university. Green lights across the board for her, so that's good. As I said, Danny was jogging here. He was very upset, but accidents happen. These are babies just like kids. And just be thankful that there was no harm done, long-term damage done to her. A couple of weeks off and she'll be fine. What else do we got? He said the Meadowlands sale, Tactical Mounds. Everybody is up to date on all the things that are going on in the barn. And, of course, the biggest news of the day, Addie Bear's birthday. Happy birthday, Addie Bear. Take care, everyone.